B-Pod Studios.
Is elongating?
Weekday morning.
Here goes Hardy.
Toucher and Hardy.
I no longer love things.
Let's go. Let's ride.
98.5.
Like, let's roll the dice.
The Sports Hub.
Fred, hello. Hello. Human feces, urine, and debris.
Ta-da!
Hello. Yes. Hello. Jackpot. Hello. Hello.
I'm John Wallach on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hello.
How do you like that?
Hello. Welcome to the show. How humiliating.
Let's go. Hey, we're back, everybody. Here we go.
Kiss this right here, you sweet bitch.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are the Toucher and Hardy Show, Town Fair Tire Studios. You can watch us on Twitch at twitch.tv. You can simply go to the Twitch app. And we are brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. It's a very exciting time because Hardy is back.
Yeah, are you excited? Are you glad
I'm
to
jazzed
see? Are you
up.
glad to see me?
I'm jazzed up.
I can tell.
People were going, "What happened? Did Hardy quit the show?" I said, I don't know. He's disappeared so
Not
quickly
here.
into our run.
He just got here, and then he left.
Yeah.
Where is he?
It was really frustrating.
It was
with everyone.
It was a long planned vacation. My mother turned 80 in January.
Oh, isn't that a wonderful age?
It's you know what? She's doing amazing. Like you would have no idea she was 80 years old.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
anything that she does.
'Cause
Anything
it
that
goes
she
down
does,
quick, baby.
any conversation you have with it, any activity she does, you would have no clue she was 80 years old.
My mother's 81. I agree with Fred. Get ready.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
and
coming-
it's not going to last forever.
That line has been crossed, and there's no going back.
Yeah.
Well, with my mom, all she wanted, because we were talking about what we're going to do, we had a party for her 70th birthday, which was on the same day as the Patriots Broncos AFC Championship game in 2014. So the 13 season, they played in Denver. I think it was the AFC Championship. Mm-hmm. So there's this big party at her house for her 70th birthday. And I remember ignoring everybody there and watching that game. And I want to say Gostowski missed like 2 extra points in that game. It was like a 2-point loss. Does that sound about right?
Say they had to go for. That's the one where they had to go for 2 at the end, and Brady got beat up really badly.
They had missed an extra point at some point. Anyway, so she didn't want to party this year. What she wanted was for everyone to get together for a week. And my sister and I are like, a week is an awfully long time for us all to be together. And, for me and my sister and...
Not get along with your sister?
Her kid, we do, but that's a long time. That's a long time for, Mom, her friend, the 4 of us and my family, my sister, her kid. Like, how about like five days? We'll do 5 days. So that we all got to this place in Florida on Sunday, and then everyone left on Friday. And that was it. That was what we did. And we had this planned for months. And Fred, I told you, Fred, when I started the show, I'm going to have to leave for a week, like 6 weeks into the show. And you said, I'll think about it. I'm like, you're not the boss of me.
I don't remember that.
And you're like, I'll think about it. And I'm like, don't think. It doesn't matter. It's happening.
I don't remember any of that. I don't remember you saying anything of that nature. I just thought it kind of took us all by surprise. And we were like, this is the attitude?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be on a big-time radio show, and this guy is flaking out to Florida.
Well, let me ask you, youngsters, something. As you were here doing the morning zoo without me last week, were you having making a little bit of sport of me for playing golf while I was on my family vacation?
No.
No? Nobody
Nope.
said anything like that?
Nope.
Dan
No.
O'Brien?
I wasn't making fun. No.
I don't get the joke.
Okay, because somebody told me it's like, somebody was making fun of you because I talked to you, Fred, I think, Monday or Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Of when I was gone. And we all get in on Sunday. The very first day we're there, the first day, like, whole family, okay, now we're settling in, waking up. It's like, oh, what are we doing today? And I said, actually, I'm going about 10 miles down the road. My buddy Rob works at a club there in Sanibel, and I'm playing. It's the one day he can play. He works there. Monday is the one day he can play. We're going to go play.
Oh, I may have said something about that.
Okay, so
How you left your kids because you were so
yeah,
concerned about your kids
yeah.
being bored. You said, we're going on a family vacation. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to spend
remember
time
this
with
now.
your
Yeah,
grandmother.
yeah.
And then on day one, you pack up.
Yeah,
and
yeah. That we did say, like,
Yeah.
it's odd that you just
God bless.
you can run out
See ya.
and just play golf
Exactly.
by yourself too.
no. I was with my friend Rob.
But
and-
no family members.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
And Peter Milbury, who I believe is related to Mike Milbury.
You believe or you know?
I don't know because we didn't talk about it, but I think it's Mike Milbury's brother.
Okay.
But, you think you're going to talk to people on the golf course, Fred, and I'm sure you've had this happen. And then once you get out there, what you end up doing mostly is playing golf. There's not like long conversations, or if there are, they're like 10-second conversations, and then then you got to go do your golfing thing.
Yeah, I just find it hell. I don't. I get it. It puts undue stress on me. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like because every time I've played with someone that I was friends with, and a guy has like joined our group, and he wasn't playing well. The guy I was with is bitched. Oh. So there's. I mean, and my father was incredibly difficult. Like we went to Hilton Head one year, and he's like, "We're playing. I want you to play golf with me at Harbor Town." And I'm like, "All right." And I didn't really play golf. And we got out there, and I was terrible. And then he was like, "I spent like $200 on this round for you." And I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't want to play, and I'm not good." So, and then he's like, "There's people behind us. Like, come on." God. Like, there's people behind us, and I'm like, ah. And so it was just like hell. So I've been raised to be in a constant state of panic. I don't find golf to be relaxing at all, unless I'm playing with people around my ability that I know very well.
I was just going to say, when we go out, the one time we all go out as a show for the company outing, you seem kind of relaxed out on the golf course when I played with you.
Yeah, because I know you guys, and you and I are probably about the same at golf, so I don't really. And then Dan doesn't play, and then Rich was terrible. So it didn't really matter to me.
And that's the thing too. Like in that, there's nowhere to go. Although I have to say, the last one or two, we have moved along the course. It wasn't like the 6-hour death march that most scrambles are.
Yeah.
But it's not like you feel pressured to play faster when you're in a scramble because you're waiting on every shot anyway.
Yeah.
And so the group behind you is waiting on
Two
every
groups
shot.
a whole. That's true.
That's probably you know what, friend? That's a good point. The most stress I feel on a golf course is when I feel like I'm holding up the group behind me, or I'm playing with somebody who is completely oblivious to there being like a group behind us. And I'm like, and it's only if someone I don't know, because if it's someone I know, I mean, like, yo, we got to move. They're up our ass.
Leave the ball in there.
Not even that, but it's like, stop telling your story on the tee box because they're walking off the green behind us.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the story you were telling on the green before. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, we're not out here to set any records, but I do have a tendency to play fast. And that is the only stress that I feel. But in terms of like playing well, when I play like crap, which is most of the time, I actually turn it up a notch in terms of like, oh, let me grab the pin. No, I'm in my pocket, blah, blah, blah. And then I go in my car and weep. And I just sit and cry for 10 to 15 minutes afterward. But on the course, I don't let it out. I don't let my bad play affect the mood of the group.
Yeah, I'm talking not about bad play in terms of scoring. I'm talking about bad play in terms of keeping the ball in play and not and just like physically being able to finish holes without picking up. Like that's the kind of bad play I'm talking about, which can happen to me. It doesn't usually happen at where I belong, but like it can happen. It's happened in Tennessee like 2 years ago. I just played one day with my dad, and these two guys joined us, and I hit my first tee shot. I sliced it right in the woods, and then I think the first 7 holes I finished 1. Like I couldn't. And that's the thing that some people like about golf that I don't like. Like if I go to a gym today, if you guys, I think we've actually done this as a show before, but if we went to a basketball court. We went to a basketball court because I wanted to prove I could shoot free throws better than Dwight Howard.
I thought you guys used to go work out together.
Just me and John. I mean, it's obvious. You could just tell by the bodies who's working out and who's not.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick has been told by his lover not to work out because they like the junk in the trunk. He's been told if Cosmo says he's fat, that his mate ain't down with that.
Can do side bends or sit-ups, but, baby, don't lose that butt.
Yeah.
I like you squishy, Nicky.
That's exactly it. But I can go to the gym, and if we went right now or went to a basketball court, if you threw me a basketball and I shot, I'm hitting rim. Like I'm not just gonna throw it over the back of the basket. But then when I can go out and play golf and have played, 10 times that year, and then go out and then just for some reason my body is doing something that's making me top the play like atrociously, and then it spirals from there. And whatever I was doing, I was that was it. And I find that to not be a good thing about the game. Like so, that is appealing to some people, but to me, I don't like that. I would much rather do an activity where you're not thinking at all. Like if you're playing basketball or something, you're not thinking.
Right. If you go out there and have a bad day on the court, it's nowhere near as bad as a bad day on the golf course.
But you're also reacting, right? You're not thinking. Like you're reacting. There's other variables. There's like quick movements. Like now I'm not saying I go out and play basketball all the time, but that's just an example. Like if we went out and played flag football, like I'd be able to catch the ball. Mm-hmm. Like I'd be able to throw maybe not I got the precise. Ouch.
I understand.
But I'd be like I can not. Well, I used to get the yips, but now I can throw batting practice. I can if you pitch to me if I went against a batting machine throwing 70, it would take me like probably 10 swings, but then I could catch up to it. Like the golf is just a different. I don't like it about golf.
You brought up a bad memory because you and I have similar experiences. One of the better days of my kids' childhood is when they stopped having me pitch batting practice to the kids. It was the worst. I hit one kid. He was 10 years old. I hit one kid throwing batting practice, and all of a sudden, everybody else was in danger.
I did the same thing.
Oh, it was awful.
And then they were little.
John, why don't you go with the outfielders?
But I had to keep doing it. But then they were so young that I would get on a knee. But then when it was time not to be on a knee anymore, I still had to get on a knee.
We can't do underhand. Wallach, you gotta throw batting practice. I'm like, you know what, Phil? I really would rather not.
Until he turned 12.
It was awful.
There was like a spot between when he was 9 and 12 where
I'll never
I just
forget.
couldn't do
I
it.
hit one kid square in the back, and that was all it took.
That same thing happened to me.
Oh my God!
And then when he turned 12, I didn't care about hitting him anymore because, they
I was
take
out. My kids were out of baseball by then, so I was good.
Yeah.
But, oh my God!
So because now I hit him all the time, by accident.
Right.
If you throw 100 pitches, you can hit the kid.
Right.
And so, I'm not, Barry Bonds' dad. So, but
armor on,
and I don't throw hard enough that it even bothers him. But the same exact thing happened to me. I got the yips.
Oh,
I was like Mackie Sasser. It was terrible. I get nervous, and then they would have me like.
Yeah, it's not your kid you're throwing fastballs to. It's somebody else's kid.
Yeah.
God forbid you hit him in the head.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't like it. I always and I had a friend Jesse that was always coached with me, and he played college, sort of played college baseball, and he would get there and he was able to do it, and I was just
I'll
like,
never
you do
forget that poor kid screaming out in pain, even though I didn't hit him hard. He was just surprised. I'm like, he's like, ah! And he dropped like he'd been shot. I'm like, oh, God, what did I do?
But my son was the same way. Like, he was like deathly afraid of the ball, and then like something clicked in his head where he doesn't. Like, kids that throw hard now, he doesn't even care about getting hit. And it's just, something has to click in your mind where you don't care anymore.
Oh, man.
Like, for some reason, he really doesn't care now when he gets hit. But, all right. There you go. Well, Hardy, everyone's very happy that you're back, that you had a wonderful time, and that you played with who could be Mike Milbury's brother.
Yeah.
Did he hit you with his shoe?
He did. He did not. But I had one of those rounds. It started like you talk about, like, slicing two into the woods to start. I sprayed my first two out of bounds to start that round, and I'm like, I just kind of chalked it up. It's like I'm playing with someone else's clubs. I don't really care. But like right away, I knew. I'm like, it's probably going to be one of those days where I just don't, play well for a while. Yeah. And it turns out I didn't make a par until I think the 14th hole. Jesus. I mean, I lipped out a couple of like par putts and had some decent shots, but I played horribly. And I'm like, okay, it's one of those days. I'll be in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'll tend the pin.
Yeah. I'm in Florida. I'm on vacation.
But
no pressure.
Your standard of not playing well is a lot different.
I don't think it is.
I mean, you're talking about pars here. These are very rare occurrences.
For those of us who shoot between 95 and 105, we'd like that.
Yeah, breaking 100 is a very rare occurrence for me. All right, Hardy, what's coming up already? I got to know.
Well, we're going to recap both Bruins and Celtics from Saturday in case you were not watching those games and just kind of give you a lay of the land, so to speak, as to where they are.
Plus, Fleur Shinzawa is some interesting stuff in The Athletic regarding the Bruins. Nationally, they're talking about them being very active at the trade deadline, and what they could do, and salary cap and what have you.
But Fred, we've got stories from all around the NHL and the NBA and even the Major League Soccer. Fred, all of that happened last night.
I hope to God
Could
we
you
don't.
imagine?
I hope to God we don't stay on interesting topics and just immediately turn to the MLS. All right, we will return.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Lainey Wilson is on a roll. She's delivering great music and teaming up with some of country's hottest acts. Text Lainey to 45911 to see which 4 Lainey Wilson collabs have us talking at BackstageCountry.com. Text Lainey to 45911 to get a link to the list sent right to your phone from BackstageCountry.com.
Twitch feed of this is going to be used all around the internet.
Get up.
The cat is finally out of the bag.
Get up.
We're back. Toucher and Hardy.
Get up.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. And the party's just getting going, baby, on a Monday. Woo! I'm out next week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, good luck.
That's going to be an interesting week for me.
Why is that?
Because Marcy's gone all next week.
Oh, hey.
And
your radio wife and your real wife.
Hey.
Yeah, who's your work wife, Fred?
We have fun.
But I will be monitoring all things at home remotely. Like, are the kids up? Did they go to school? Did they do the things they were supposed to do before they leave?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we had a big crisis because my daughter's mother cannot take her to school on Tuesday, and so my daughter wanted to spend the night at my house, but I'm not there in the morning, and so we made plans for her to stay at a friend's house, but then she was like, I want to stay at your house. So I was like, all right, but you're going to have to get up and get on the bus yourself. And she's sounding great. And she's like, oh, there's no problem. And I'm like, okay, I believe you can do it, but if you don't, like, we're going to have to you're going to be punished. We're going to put time limits on your phone. And then I get a text like a half an hour later, I'm going to sleep at my friend's house.
There it is.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Can't
She's like, I'm not betting on myself.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't bet on myself.
Yeah.
All right, Hardy, what happened?
Well, over the weekend, both Celtics and Bruins played on Saturday. Celtics have picked up right where they left off after the All-Star break. 6 wins in a row going into the break. Since then, they have won 2 straight, including Saturday night when they played the Knicks in New York. And Kristaps Porzingis once again having a time.
Celtics had the one crazy shooting game in Miami. Their second best was the Valentine's Day Massacre lob. Porzingis throws it down with the right hand from Derek White, and the lead is 20.
Boy, he just shoved that all in. I mean, Jesus Christ, Grandy. It was like you just like that's some Rain Man stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
Must say thing about Valentine's Day Massacre. Must say thing about Valentine's Day Massacre.
Well, it was getting toward the end of the game. He was running out of time. That made it that made it 113-93.
So instead of the Rob bot, it's the Grandy bot?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, seriously, like, if he wouldn't have gotten that information out, no one would have cared. No one, turned the game off and went, thank God Grandy said the thing about the Valentine's Day Massacre, whatever the hell that was. And now here, well, Fred, it was da-da-da. I don't care. So, whatever it was, it's boring.
Oh, no, let me stop you. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't tell me. Please
Play it again. Just listen to how he's got to shoot this crap out of his mouth.
All right, from the top.
Celtics had the one crazy shooting game in Miami. Their second best was the Valentine's Day Massacre lob. Porzingis throws it down with the right hand from Derek White, and the lead is 20.
I could see that, and I say lob before it happens. Why doesn't the defense do that?
Knicks gave it everything they had here, shorthanded.
Yeah. All right.
They beat Brooklyn by 50 on Valentine's Day, Fred. Just because I knew secretly you wanted to know. That was the last game before the All-Star.
Valentine's
Day
Day
gave you time
Massacre.
to look it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because. Oh, that's even worse. I thought Valentine's Day Massacre was something from the '86 Celtics.
No,
it's
it just happened last week.
Oh, it's just something he made up. Oh, well, fantastic.
Well, the Valentine's Day Massacre is an historical reference, Fred.
Do
you? Do you? Do you?
I was.
Tell me, who got killed?
Mr. Goldman. I don't know that. I know the Valentine's Day Massacre.
How
It's
many
like
people?
some mob thing, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. It shows I know a little bit about
Well, that's how much I know.
it. Yeah. So that's the mob and the Valentine's Day Massacre.
Some mob thing.
Yeah, but I mean, so he called. Forget it. When I'm just picking on him, but it's annoying to me. So just go ahead.
Kristaps Porzingis, 22 points. Jaylen Brown, and I mercifully missed All-Star Weekend. Was not on my radar. Did not care.
It stunk. They got to change it.
The nearly 400 point
I didn't like
affair
the entertainment.
that was the All-Star game, but Jaylen Brown has continued since apparently an impressive All-Star game performance with 30 points in the win over the Knicks on Saturday. So good for Jaylen.
I know that the All-Star game talk was crap when I was listening to a national radio guy, and he's like, the All-Star game is a disgrace. I didn't watch it. And to that, I would say, yeah, neither did I. So who cares?
Right.
I just don't watch basketball on All-Star Game weekend. And then Ryan Johnston, who filled in for you and who I enjoy, and so I just disagreed with his point. He was like, well, the guys that pay to go to the games, they're not going to be happy with it. And I said, the guys that pay to go to the All-Star Game aren't going to watch the All-Star Game.
It has zero to do with the game.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner was in hog heaven at the All-Star Game because I follow him on Instagram because my son, because he's a Fortnite guy. I try to stay with my son.
Sure.
And Sauce Gardner seemed to enjoy himself immensely at the game. So the people that were there, the only one I know that was at the game is Sauce Gardner from Instagram, and he had a great time. So I'm guessing that it didn't bother anyone. So my point is this: if you don't like the exhibition affair, simply don't watch the exhibition affair. That's all you got to do. It's not your problem. Don't watch the All-Star game. It's a day without basketball. You can live without it. There's plenty of other days. Well, they should do this and they should that. Should they? Because it's not going to be any good anyway. It's not going to be good.
No, I have never. I shouldn't say never. Yeah, there have been times when I thought, they could fix this, they could make it better, And then I had this moment of clarity where I realized it's one game, it's an exhibition. Who cares what they do?
That's exactly what I think.
Don't play it. It doesn't matter.
And then people go like, because I'll even think like, I remember I taped the All-Star game. Yeah, but I was 12. And I was just like, ooh, Magic Johnson. I'm not 12. I'm not 12 years old anymore.
Truth be told, every game, the baseball All-Star game is better.
Yeah,
but the other three, and they finally did away with the Pro Bowl.
Well, the Pro Bowl
but
is.
You got to stop.
Football.
You really, the NHL and NBA All-Star games. The NHL at least is trying with a different kind of format, but you can't really watch that either.
All right, so the NHL All-Star game, I don't understand. I understand the concept of it, but while it's being executed, it's very hard for me to follow unless you watch the whole thing, which I don't want to do.
Right.
So, but I didn't come in here the next day and go, this crap. All right, I didn't particularly like it. I didn't understand what was going on because I came in halfway. It's like you
don't know what are we semifinals? Are we finals? Are we what is
it's like
this?
Full House.
Yeah.
If you come in season 4. You're going to be like, why is Uncle Jesse here?
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to follow anything. So that's kind of like what the All-Star game is to me. But my point is, I'm so evolved, I'm over it.
Oh.
No, my point is this, though. I did listen because there was nothing else going on. So I listened to not this station and not locally, but nationally, like 3 days of these. And now that I do it for a living, I can tell of just empty complaining. Like people, they didn't care. They just had nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the All-Star game. So I'm glad you brought it up because I can catch you up on my feelings on it, which is apathy. Thank you.
Now, on the flip side of this would be the Bruins, who since their All-Star break have now gone over 10 games. Any guesses as to what their record is?
Well, they've lost, I would imagine, 9 games in overtime.
Yeah, well, they have 7 losses.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of overtime losses. But the one Saturday night against Vancouver, it looked like things were going the Bruins' way.
Fake the shot. Bruins making a few changes. Batted back of the net for Frederick. Fred throw it out in front. They score! Look at Dan Heinen celebrate! Heinen was the guy camped in the blue paint. That wraparound came to him. Glanced off his skating home. Bruins 2, Canucks nothing. The Vancouver native adding to the lead.
So that was a nice moment there. I say moment, Saturday afternoon. The Bruins had a 2-goal lead over Vancouver, but 2 unanswered goals from the Canucks, and then an overtime.
Top left wing circle. Miller sends it out in front. They score. He set it up perfectly for Brock Besser. Deflects it inside the near post. A power play overtime game winner.
And that's,
you're selling this short. I mean, the Bruins were up 2-0 with under 9 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
And lost.
Here's how bad it is that there's a comedian I'm a fan of, but I barely know him. And I got a direct message saying, watch the Bruins last night. Yikes.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, that was bad. And then too many men on the ice at overtime. It's bad. Now, the good news is that the overtime is different in the playoffs. So you have that going. But I also wouldn't want to blow 2-goal leads with 9 minutes left in the game.
But the question is it just the lack of talent on the roster catching up to them? If you take a look at their top 6 or top 9, you're like, okay, you have Pasternak and you have Coyle and you have Marchand. But after that, I mean, are they really going to lean on James Van Riemsdyk?
They're down on defense. And I wonder if maybe – look, last year they lost in the first round. Maybe losing now – and this is a very unsports talk radio point of mine, but maybe get the losing out of the way now and just realize you're not perfect. Yeah. Maybe because last year it didn't work. Last year when nothing went wrong in the regular season, they lost in the effing. Maybe they'll learn a lesson about the team. Maybe they'll make a move, which we'll talk about after the break.
Yeah, but I've said it, especially about hockey for years. There is the thing. I believe there is a thing to peaking too soon. And the Bruins had such a high peak for so long last year, short of winning the Stanley Cup, they had nowhere to go after that regular season that they put in.
The trade deadline is a week from Friday.
Yeah, and we'll talk about what are some rumors about the Bruins coming up after these. Here are the headlines.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Award-winning movies often have incredible soundtracks, and many of those have gone on to become country gold. We've picked our top 5 country songs that have been nominated for an Oscar. Text Oscar to 45911 to see if your favorite made the list on BackstageCountry.com. Text Oscar to 45911 and we'll send the link straight to your phone.
Half Toucher.
Dressed like a gorilla.
Half Hardy.
A big, beautiful ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider. Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. We're brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Be listening at 6:55. I'll hold people over the break. For your chance to score a 4-pack of vouchers for Friday's March 8th session of the Harpoon Brewery St. Patrick's Day Festival at their Seaport District Beer Hall. I was at the Seaport on Saturday.
Can't hide money. Look at you.
It's the second time you said that to me in 2 days. Enjoy life. I said I was at Sunday. I said I was at.
I talked to him yesterday. He's like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just sitting here at Legal Seafood." I'm like, "Can't hide money." It's just got on a Sunday, like at 5:00. Here he is, enjoying a crab cake.
There was a crab cake appetizer.
Of course there is.
I could hear it.
Yeah.
I could hear it in the background.
That's right. You go out with Fred, ladies. You're having lunch at Legal. Enjoy live music.
A late lunch. It was more like a supper. That is
No. It was. We talked at like 1:30. I know because I had to be home at 3. Local food vendors, and for the first time, entertainment by Beyond Wrestling. Grab your They take it one step beyond. Beyond Wrestling. It's a bunch of dead wrestlers. Bruno Sammartino versus Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Technical versus aerial. Grab your tickets now at harpoonbrewery.com. That's coming up at 6:55. Do you understand, sir? Bruno Sammartino was a technician.
Mm-hmm.
And Superfly Snuka was an aerialist. Mm-hmm. He would jump in the air and fly. Top of the cage. Don Morocco splat. Did you see that? Did you ever see the Beyond the Ring on A&E or Vice with Vince McMahon?
I did not.
So Jimmy Superfly Snuka in the 80s got accused of killing someone, and Vince McMahon allegedly went into the police department in Connecticut with a briefcase and then left, and the charges were all dropped.
Huh.
The investigation was dropped.
Go figure.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't really think about paying off the Connecticut police on a murder.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. All right, so here we go. This is by Sean Gentile and Murat Ates. It's very important I tell you that from The Athletic. All right, so this pops up, and I go, all right, this is not going to be interesting to me because I like the Bruins. It says NHL Power Rankings, a new top 5 plus trade deadline popcorn ratings. So the popcorn ratings for the Bruins, you would figure, would be nothing. Mm-hmm. And but I will read you what they say. They have their popcorn factor at 2.
Okay.
All right. And here is by the way, they're number 4 in the NHL according to the rankings. 2 gentlemen have them 3, and the Murat fellows got them at 8. It says the draft pick cupboard is bare in Boston after last season's all-in push. The prospect pool is one of the very weakest in the league, and there's no cap space to be found. That doesn't make a move impossible, just unlikely. The Bruins have been connected to Noah Hannafin, defenseman, like other Eastern Conference contenders, and some combo of Matthew Patra.
Yes.
Patra. I know. I've heard it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And a 2025 first rounder can get plenty done. That's plus a whole bunch of cap space for 2024-25 makes them worth watching down the stretch. The Bruins trade deadline asset, $20 million of incoming cap space, according to Fluto Shinzawa.
Yes.
Holy moly. I haven't talked all weekend. $20 million of incoming cap space for them. So they can now here's why. 8 players due to become unrestricted free agents. Grizzly, DeBrusk, Forbert, Shattenkirk, Lucic, Van Riemsdyk, Heinen, and Anthony Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to lock him up.
I just called him up last week.
Dick Richard?
27-year-old journeyman, yes.
Yeah, Anthony Richard. I mean, I can't imagine they won't lock him up. But that leaves them and then there's this overage penalty due to the Bergeron-Krejci contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting $20 million. So in whatever math that is required that I don't care to investigate, apparently this leads to the ability to perhaps trade and sign someone.
I would love to see. I've heard that Hanifin thing, too. I've read stuff about that Hanifin trade also. He makes about $5 million a year. The Bruins have about $60,000 of cap space. I would love to see how they get that done.
But let's just say that there's got to be something they can, there's got to be some juggling they can do. And let's not get into it because who really cares how? It's math, and they don't pay me to do it.
Sure.
So I don't want to do it. But, it is interesting. I guess I had forgotten that they have so much cap space coming up. I knew that they had a bunch of free agents. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. So that kind of changes the way that I was thinking about it. If you can make a move for a player that has an expiring contract with the understanding that you can sign them in the offseason, then maybe you do make a move. I mean, would you trade now? If you trade the 2025 your first round pick, you're going to have no first round picks for the millennia.
Yeah, their next one would be 2026, and they're without picks in rounds 1, 2, and 3 this year.
Yeah. So if you trade the 2020,
by the way, without picks in rounds 2 and 4 next year.
Yeah.
And so if you trade the first round pick,
listen, you're
not
just
drafted anybody.
Yeah, you're gonna be running on fumes there in the minors. But but then who knew that Beecher and Patra would come up? But would you trade Patra in your 2025 first round pick if you got a guy on an expiring deal, but a established guy mid late 20s that you could re-sign? Would you make that deal?
Yes, but that won't be enough to get it done because, again, math involved. You got to trade someone else off the roster.
No. Yeah, but you can throw. I mean, just say you could do it, and the main parts would be Patra.
Yes, I would do it. Yes, I would do it.
Okay.
I would trade Patra in a number 1 for a guy that can help me this year, and with the wink, wink, I'll sign you, etc.
Yeah, because I'm not doing it for a rental.
Guy who you can trade, I think, without any problem is DeBrusk. I mean, you can always sell someone on the, you know what? He's still young. He's only making $4. He's not going to cost you much more than that. He's in a big slump, but you've seen what he can do when he gets going.
And if you want to have a lot more of that $20 million in cap space to use next year, getting DeBrusk out of here would be the quickest way to free up a bunch more money. Because out of those 8 guys that you mentioned, Fred, who are they going to re-sign other than DeBrusk? I don't think it's going to be Forbert. It's not going to be it's not going to be
they're not going to re-sign Grizzly. So the 2 guys that they would probably love to trade are DeBrusk and Grizzly. They'd probably love to get something in return for them, but that would be getting rid of Grizzly. Obviously, you'd have to bring in a defenseman.
You also have to sign. I think Swayman's restricted this coming off season, so you also have to get something done there.
Well, get Swayman done, but I would still trade Hallmark now. He's making $5 million.
I wouldn't screw with the goaltending this year.
I would. I still would.
I think it's the only thing that keep him afloat.
They hang 5 goals on him on Thursday night. I know they got the overtime win, but it's like
here's the thing, though, Hardy, is that everyone I talk to, and then if you look at the history, you don't get anything for goaltenders at the deadline, and so I wouldn't trade them for just garbage.
I'd rather have them.
You never get anything for goaltenders. It's the weirdest thing in the NHL.
It is really weird. All right, let's break. We'll be back. We can continue this discussion. Plus, we have audio from Draymond Green, and then now, all of a sudden, basketball players seem to be drugged after games as well. We will have all that for you, plus the big
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Lainey Wilson is on a roll. She's delivering great music and teaming up with some of country's hottest acts. Text Lainey to 45911 to see which 4 Lainey Wilson collabs have us talking at BackstageCountry.com. Text Lainey to 45911 to get a link to the list sent right to your phone from BackstageCountry.com.
Wrong.
We're back with Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, caller number 10 right now to the Sports Hub contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll score a 4-pack of vouchers for the Friday, March 8th session of the Harpoon Brewery St. Patrick's Day Festival at their Seaport District Beer Hall. Enjoy live music, local food vendors, and for the first time, entertainment by Beyond Wrestling. Grab your tickets now at harpoonbrewery.com. But caller number 10 now wins. Hardy, what kind of sandwich is that you got right there?
That is peanut butter and jelly.
Oh,
I added
boy.
jelly to this morning.
Okay, because do you usually finish those sandwiches?
Why, do you want a half?
No.
Oh, no.
No, there is a reason I'm asking. Do you usually finish the sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay, because over the last week, there was a half-eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the refrigerator here at the station. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
There was a bite mark in the half that was left over.
Like someone went, I can't just throw this out. Yeah. I need to save this. And I thought, that right there is 15 cents worth of sandwich.
Well, this is the first time I've added jelly to the sandwich. Normally it's peanut butter. I just have a peanut butter sandwich and a banana. That'll be the snack I bring in with me to work. But today, no bananas. Like, I need something in life. I need to feel something, and I will feel something by way of having jelly on this sandwich.
Well, it's a very exciting time. You know, you're like Elvis. I saw the movie Priscilla over the weekend.
I watched that over the weekend.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You know, Elvis, freshman in high school, Priscilla Presley, while he was in his 20s. And he had freshman in high school. Got the parents' permission, and went on to marry her. Flew her out. They flew her out to Memphis. She might have been a sophomore in high school, and he flew her out to Memphis to live with him. But in fairness, she wanted sex, and he said no.
And that is Priscilla's account. That is from her autobiography. They made this movie, so it's not like you're looking at it through, you know, the retelling of, you know, of Elvis's side of events. No, that's according to her. Yeah,
well, I mean, do you think Elvis's people would be like, let's really harp on the fact that she was a freshman at a diner in Germany when he had one of his people walk up to her, and obviously trolling for young women?
Did you get the sense that Elvis was maybe had some like stunted development because he wanted to have all his childhood friends around lighting off fireworks and driving around in go-karts and golf carts?
I think that the problems Elvis had are well discussed, in that it was he had wanted to have sex with his mother. I mean, I don't think it's I think that's a pretty standard way of thinking. I mean, Elvis had a mother complex. He has an Oedipus complex, and Oedipal complex, I should say. And I think that's the whole Priscilla keeping her virgin and all that stuff. I think it's been. I'm not inventing that either. I think it's pretty well known.
Okay.
Elvis had a weird thing for his mom.
Yeah.
Because his mom dead when he met Priscilla? And
yes.
She just died?
She had just died a few months ago. And
so I think the theory is that like he wanted this like virginal figure to take the place of his mother.
Well, Fred, I thought of you during that scene because Elvis mentions to Priscilla, it's like, yeah, I talk to her every day. I talk to my mom every day. I said, there's someone else I know who speaks to his mother every day.
Mm-hmm. I don't talk to my mom every day.
3 days a week, right?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Mommy! I'll call Mommy! Mommy, tell me I'm good. Mm-hmm. Mommy, rub my back. Mommy, I'm scared, I say. And then I hug her leg, and then I go, shoes.
Mommy shoes. Mommy shoes.
That's exactly what I do. It's I mean, now talking to your mother is considered bad. If that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
It was Elvis-like.
Oh, I'm a lot like Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, big pill addiction. I'm fat. I'm
very much
die on the toilet.
Very much into guns and martial arts. Always carrying around the guns.
I'm friends with Nixon. There's a bunch of stuff going on with me.
Hey, can I pay off this frickin' soccer tease finally? Do we have time?
No.
Damn.
All right, no commercials
All right,
here.
so people are going to be pissed now.
Well, listen, blame me. Toucher at 985thesportsroom.com.
Jordi Alba, back to Messi. Jordi Alba.
I don't control that. Why is that? Where's the pot for that? I wanted to pot it down, and why don't I not control that pot?
Messi scored the equalizer in stoppage time.
All right, we will
played to
no
a 1-1
commercials
draw.
Here, just the headlines.
It's a big story.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
We'll not be mentioning that in headlines.
No. But there was a kind of a puss at a basketball game, maybe at a puscator, a little crybaby. I haven't heard it, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Somehow I missed it this weekend.
Just you wait.
But there's a little crybaby wah-wah.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the effects pedal. I'm talking about a real dorky crybaby puss in the NBA. And we'll have that for you in just a moment.